Hey, I'm Circle Strafe, and welcome to Aspect History. Welcome to part 2 of the Labours of Heracles. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the first labour, the Nemean Lion. Let's continue. Heracles has arrived in Tiryns after murdering his family. He goes to King Eurystheus, a mortal favoured by Hera, and offers himself into the king's service. Eurystheus smiles at our hero and says to the prostrating Heracles that he will enforce upon him 10 impossible tasks. He says that he doubts that Heracles will be able to complete just one of these labours. Eurystheus tells Heracles that his first task is to seek out and slaughter the deadly lion of the Nemean mountains. The Nemean lion is a creature of immense power and resilience. Its most unique trait is that it has a thick, impenetrable pelt. No matter how you strike at this lion, you will never pierce its skin. Some sources say that the Nemean lion was created by Selene, goddess of the moon, at the desire of Hera. Selene forged it from sea foam, encased in an ark. After this, Iris, the messenger of the gods, carried the lion in her girdle to the mountains of Nemea. Hesiod believed that the lion was birthed by Typhon and Echidna. These deities were colloquially known as the mother and father of ancient Greek monsters. After birthing the lion, it was taken to be raised by Hera. Regardless of origin, the Nemean lion is usually the first example of Hera directly intervening in the labours themselves. On his way to Nemea, between Argos and Corinth, Heracles rests at the house of a simple workman named Melorcus. This man's son has recently been killed by the deadly lion, and Heracles discovers him preparing a sacrifice to Hera. He's trying his best to appease her. Our hero stops him from carrying out the sacrifice, telling the man of his mission to kill the lion. He asks Melorcus to wait 30 days for his safe return. Should he come back, the pair will make a sacrifice to Zeus instead of Hera. If he does not return, he asks that Melorcus sacrifice to himself instead, as a fallen hero. Heracles finds himself in Nemea soon after. Nemea is a ghost town, emptied from the constant lion attacks. Our hero finds it tough to get exact directions to his beastly quarry, and heads off in search using what little tracks he can find. He wanders for a while, combing mountain passes in search for the deadly lion. On Mount Tiryns, Heracles sees fresh blood smattered around. He approaches a nearby cave that has 2 entrances and turns to see the lion returning to its lair. Heracles fires arrows at the lion immediately, but they harmlessly deflect away after hitting the lion's indestructible coat. Our hero then pulls out his sword, hacking and slashing at the beast, but only succeeding in bending his weapon and making the lion angry. Finally, Heracles resorts to his trusty wooden club and charges at the lion, attempting to smack it with his deific-like strength. The lion flees Heracles' lunges and escapes into one of the entrances of the cave. To prevent the lion leaving the cave, Heracles blocks one of the entrances to trap it. He is now aware that the lion cannot be killed by regular weapons and decides to switch up his tactics. Heracles elects to wrestle the lion with his bare hands. He grapples the beast and they tussle violently. Heracles narrowly avoids the lion's razor-sharp claws, gripping tightly onto the beast as it flails around. The lion bites at Heracles on the hand and succeeds in taking one of his fingers, but Heracles does not let up. The son of Zeus finally grasps the lion by his neck and squeezes hard. Heracles chokes the lion to its death. On his way back to Tiryns, the lion firmly placed over his shoulders, Heracles once again finds the same workman. Glaucus was actually just about to sacrifice to Heracles, as it has been 30 days. The pair make their agreed sacrifice to Zeus together instead. After a rest, Heracles continues back to King Eurystheus. The king of Tiryns is impressed, but also massively terrified by the power of Heracles. He is so scared of our hero, in fact, that he forbids Heracles from ever entering the city again. Any labours Heracles completes from this point on must be offered up from outside the city gates. He is also never again permitted to interact with Eurystheus directly, instead being forced to communicate with a herald on the king's behalf. Perhaps most drastically, the king reacts by commissioning a gigantic ceramic pot for himself to be buried in the earth. This pot is a place to hide should Heracles ever come looking for violence. From divine inspiration, Heracles uses the lion's own claws to flay it of skin. He wears its pelt on his body like a suit of armour, with the lion's head resting on his head like a helmet. Heracles' second labour is about to begin. That's it, thanks for watching. In a little change from our usual ending, it's time to announce something. This video is the 25th on our channel. We want to thank you so much for supporting us and helping us to reach this milestone. To celebrate, we're going to run a little competition with you guys. Here's an image. We'd like you to caption it. To enter this competition, simply subscribe to the channel and enter your caption as a comment on this video. The winner will be selected on September 5th and broadcast in the Friday video that goes out that week. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you in the next video. Toodles!